I'm Brogan Taylor. Welcome to my Freshworks masterclass on sales culture code words. Number one is the team. It's always all about the team. You can have a tremendous product, a tremendous market, but if you don't have the right team, nothing else works. I could feel a soulfulness to the company. I knew that they were doing something great. I think it's fun to be disruptive. Just much more fun to go challenge the status quo. When we think about SaaS, software as a service, it seems maybe like a relatively fresh new term, or cloud, but it's been around for 20 years or more. It's time for a fresh approach. Something built from the ground up that really resonates with the market and the customers. And that sounded like an awful lot of fun to me. It takes a little bit of time to identify it. To me, you don't just walk in to a sales floor and put your finger on it and say, this is a happy sales culture. I think the most obvious clue of a happy sales culture, which by the way is also an engaged sales culture, is the exhibition of creativity. When you see sales teams being incredibly creative on an individual basis, that tells me that that sales organization, number one, of course, feels the freedom to create. They feel secure. They're enthused by what they're doing. A good sales team shouldn't wake up at night worried about where they are necessarily in the stack rankings. They should wake up at night energized by the great idea that they have, by the new campaign that they want to build, by a new way to meet a customer's needs. Our CEO, he uses the word craftsmanship. It's one of our core values. In the long run, no. I think the saying is water always finds the same level or its own level. And to me what that means is, you can have different basins, if you will, or different departments in the organizational world, but if they're all interconnected by the same pipes, it's all gonna level out in the end. You might have a world-class product, but if your sales organization isn't capable of positioning it in the right way, the whole organization doesn't win together. Sales has a great opportunity always to be a catalyst within the organization. They're frontline with the customers. That feedback to product, that energy, that ear to the ground with the market, the way that they communicate. They're also an incredibly cross-functional team. We've always talked about great sales teams being great listening sales teams, but that also means that the leadership team as well is more empathetic. That leadership team that's driving those teams. And when you're an empathetic team together, you realize the strengths and the weaknesses that can be brought together to make everything collectively better. When you focus just on a leaderboard, you're looking at just the high performer for that period of time. And what you get from that sometimes is the perennial Top Gun, or whatever you want to call it. They might be the big deal closer, but what you might be missing within that is that you have these other strengths. I don't recall ever being in a sales organization where the top people enjoy watching other people struggle. To me, it's our opportunity as sales leaders to help guide that. So you'll find different strengths. So as an example, you might have an incredible copywriter on the team that can write these great campaigns. I think of my own team, when I say this, there's a person on the team that's incredibly analytical, that is great for helping with things like go-to-market strategy and account analysis. There's other folks that really enjoy transactional deals. And then of course you have the enterprise type skill sets, which are totally different. But if all of those people as a team and us as leaders identify what makes each of those roles different, how much healthier we become and stronger we become as an organization. Many companies, including Freshworks, have moved to pulse surveys, which are literally almost a one-way from the employee to the organization about areas that we can improve, strengths, places that we can adapt, really great information about how we might be able to pivot in the market. All kinds of incredible information comes from that. Just be careful of what I would call like a context collapse. Meaning it's really easy to look at summarized results and think that you understand what's happening. It's imperative that you dive into the comments and look at the different organizations, the different interdependencies that they have and what might be influencing that opinion or that feedback. Never just look at the headlines. In weekly one-on-ones, in our Slack channel, we try to always encourage a spirit of candor on the team. Again, that's kind of that challenger, that fun mindset. Instead of talking about what happened, of course, we're talking about what are the possibilities. So the old design theory, right, where they talk about you are here. If we are here, what are the possibilities? Where could we go? All too often people, they feel that the key to growth is to just throw headcount at things. Build a culture of success first. Don't just throw salespeople in headcount. Until you know that you have product market fit and you have a certain amount of people over a certain productivity line, don't go grow your sales force if that's a really early stage company. Don't rely on your salespeople to drive raw market demand and be the marketing person. In other words, until you've built a culture of success with a core group of folks, don't go expand it until the idea is proven and those individuals have built this nucleus of success. Another common area that you see that mistake is early stage companies maybe trying to drive into channel or partner relationships before they've proven the product market fit or before they've proven how they're going to sell and position that in the market. Prove it yourself first, and you'll know that you've done that when you have a culture of success with your team, and then scale it, whatever scale may mean in that context.